How's everybody doing? Welcome to the weekend AMA. Every week, for those of you who are new to the channel, and there's quite a few, we're growing faster than ever, and I appreciate that. And it's because you guys are hitting that subscribe, that notification, and sharing the videos and all that good stuff. So thank you so much for that. But every weekend, I go and I try to answer your questions to the best of my ability, provide some mentoring, some guidance. I know that when I was starting out, that I wish I had somebody to answer questions and bounce that off. So while everyone's running in here, we usually start off with a topic. Today's topic is to just bring up the fact that there's levels to this game, to the coding game, and it's a grind, and that's a good thing. Part of the reason it can be a grind is because, as we've seen in so many things, there's not a developer shortage. There's a good developer shortage. There's a shortage of good developers. And so if you're able to get into that category, you can succeed like you would not believe. And so I want you to keep that in mind, is that you always need to be stepping up your level a little bit. You always need to be going and grinding. And that's not to say that you're not going to have challenges. There's challenges every which way, but you need to be ready to tackle those head on and have an understanding of what it is you're getting into. And I think where people fail is they think that, oh, I got my first dev job, I'm done, baby. We in it to win it, baby. You just got started, Pimpin. Let's slow your roll here. All right. So, keep that in mind as you are continuing to grow, and hopefully you are. There are plenty of tragic developer stories where they get their first dev job and they never grow from there. They never move on, and and that's not to say that you have to job hop or anything like that. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you growing. I'm talking about you going from level 1 to level 2. You were level 0, and it feels great to get that first level up, right? It feels phenomenal. You're over there walking around like you're the shit. You got a little bit of imposter syndrome, but life is good, right? When you get that first dev job. But you just entered the building. There's 10 more floors, So I want you to have that mentality as you're grinding, is that, getting a dev job is a milestone. It's not the last milestone. You need to continue to grow. You want those fat checks. You want that nice life. As what's that rap superstar? 5 house, 5 cars. I forget. I forget. You know what I'm talking about. You're not necessarily gonna go and be a rap superstar, but you need to continue growing, continue grinding, and your career will grow with it. Now, the reason I bring this up is so many people get there and they just, we done. I worked hard, man. I worked hard to get this first dev job. Now I'm going to coast. Bro, we all worked hard. Okay. We all, here's a news flash for everybody. To be a good dev, we all had to work hard. To be a great dev, we all had to continue to work hard. So I want you to have this mentality that, just when you get that first payoff, that's just the first of many to come, unless you make it your last. So it's a hard thing. And that, you're going to have to take failures. You're going to have to take L's. Here's the thing. You have to take L's to get the W's. All right. So you don't stop when you get the W because you don't want to take any more L's. I've taken more L's in this game than I can keep track of, honestly. I got asked a question today. What is one of your greatest failures? I was like, in the personal, professional, relationship. Where are we starting with this? Because the list goes on, right? And it can, but you know why that's a good thing and why people ask that? Because no one wants a liar. We've all taken L's. And we all want somebody who's going to be honest, but we also want someone who is pushing their boundaries. When I interview with Facebook and I take an L there because they're not interested, do I get demotivated? No. You say to yourself, you know what, man? I just wasn't ready. You know what? It'll go better next time. I'm glad I'm challenging myself moving forward, because the people who only get W's, you know what? They're not taking chances. They're taking easy W's. We all get the layups. I'm over here taking half-court shots, three-pointers, game changers. And I want you to have that mentality in your career. Do you just want the layup? Do you want the No. We going for the three-pointers. It's hard work to get good at those shots. It's hard work. It sucks when you get that L. It sucks 100%. No one's telling you taking L's is easy or fun. Every time I take an L, I take about 20, 30 minutes. I kind of, I'm kind of shake it off a little bit. I feel a little bit bad for myself. About 20 minutes, no longer than 20 minutes. I feel a little bad. And I take a couple deep breaths. All right, we back to it. We get right back on the horse. We go back at it. So when you're taking those L's, you need to understand that it's on the path to the next W. But if you just take the easy layups, you never get there, right? And it's unfortunate and sad. Second, I have an important email I have to check. But you gotta shake it off, man. I'm not gonna say it's not gonna hurt good. It's not gonna hurt. It always hurts. It always hurts, right? No one likes putting yourself out there. Shit, man. If I got turned down, look, man, you just talk about dating. Say, if I just stopped after I got turned down by the first girl, I'd be living in my mother's basement today. It's just sad and depressed. But you have to get out there, man. And this is in your career also. You have to put yourself out there and get those L's. For one, it's going to keep you humble, which is one of the few things people have nowadays, is a way to be humble. I pride myself on being able to be humble and not be full of myself. It's real easy when you have a YouTube channel. People, hey, man, Dylan, you're awesome. You do have those 1 out of 100 that tell you that, go kill yourself and crazy things like that. But, those people don't matter. You just block them, right? But it's great. Yeah. Hey, thanks, Dylan, for, all the help you helped me get. Excellent. I'm happy to do that. But you need, if you wanted to, you could get real unhumble really quickly. So keep yourself humble. Keep learning. Keep grinding. Keep moving. It is... It's a strange thing. But anyhow, so that's my thing. Is just keep in mind that there's levels to this stuff, and that you need to keep grinding to get to the next level. You ain't at the top of the game yet. All right. And if you think you are, you don't understand the game, because there's no top. You see, there's just the next level. Whatever top of the game you think you're at, you own a house. You got your first dev job. All right. Did you pay off your house yet? Oh, you paid off your house? Cool. Do you have any investments? Oh, no, you work a job still? All right, cool. What side incomes do you have? How much are you saving for retirement? Have you saved a college fund for your kids? Have you launched that startup project? The list goes on. And these aren't material things. These are just comfortable. Hey, I just want to have a comfortable life. Are you happy with your job? Are you working on a project that you're passionate about? So, and the people who love it, they get the next level. That's not to say that you have to be a developer. You don't have to love coding as much as I do. I got asked the other day, what is one thing your coworkers probably find annoying about you? I was like, probably that I always just talk about how I'm grinding, because I am. And they're probably sick of hearing about it, but you have to understand there's different levels. What level do you want to what level do you want to be at? And with every level, with every additional success, it's exponential. So I want you to keep that in mind, man, as you're growing, as you're grinding. I want you to be humble while you're doing it. I want you to understand what it means to be humble and help those around you. That's the thing. So I'm reading a a book by Dave Ramsey, who's an investment guy. I'll do a book review about it, and probably I'm reading a chapter a day, so probably about 2 weeks. But it has some religious text in the investment book. He's evangelical Christian. I'm not religious, but he talks about one of the reasons to motivate yourself to make more money so that you can give more. And not necessarily at your church, but that's part of his things. But in your life, I'd love to give more. I'd love to make more for myself, but I would love to have the option to be able to take care of, the family members when they need it. Why? Who wouldn't? I want to support my family. I want to help them out. I can't yet, but just stay humble. Understand there's different levels to this, and you're gonna continue grinding it out. But all right, with our public announcement there, we got off our. I don't know if it's a soapbox, but we did our public announcement. You want to be a superstar? Live large. 5 house, 5 cars. Yeah, about half of you guys listening are like, what is this old man singing about? All of you who are like, what was that by Cypress Hill? All of you guys who are like under 20 are like, dude, they're like, bro, it's 2018. We only listen to like Lil Wayne and Drake. All right, get it together. All right, so when's Dolan coming back? You see the mustache is growing and strong. I've been quite busy. I have a sketch though that I need to film. 2 years studying, getting fired at an internship, back at it in a QA role with the opportunity for a developer job, and motivated as ever. The poser get weeded out for the win. For the win. Oh my goodness. The Mark Easy, you're old as shit also like me, man. You saying for the win? Look, man. The kids nowadays, they say 2 things. When it's good, it says feels good. And then when it's bad, it feels bad. That's it. That's it, man. It's 2018, Mark. We got to step our game up, man. Can you tell me if you use at your workplace Bootstrap or Material Design for page design, or do you use any other CSS framework? It depends on the application. Some back office tools where we're not worried about the app, we're using Bootstrap, but other times we're using like I'm working on an app where it's much more design driven and we don't want to use that styling. So instead what we're doing is we're doing custom media queries along with what's the word I'm looking for? Custom CSS using CSS Grid, which is just the native CSS. Once I feel like I start knowing something, I find out real quick I don't know shit. Coding or tech in general is a rabbit hole. That's right, man. But here's the thing: the more you know, the more you learn that you don't know. That's always why it's so apparent when I get questions like, I know HTML, CSS, JavaScript. What else do I need to know? I was like, you don't know shit. Anytime you phrase a question like that, you don't know shit. Because I don't even say I know JavaScript or TypeScript. People just ask me, if people say, what do you know? I don't know nothing. I know nothing, bro. I commit to knowing nothing. What's your best language? TypeScript, JavaScript. Do you know TypeScript? No, I don't know shit, dude. I don't know shit. They're like, we like this guy. This guy's keeping it real. Yeah, I don't know shit, dude. I just know a little more shit than the average person. That's about it. What's all this talking about C# or lack of? C# is great, man. It's growing. Can you do a video on how to deal with changing requirements? I did a video about technical debt. Ex-salams. You might want to check that out. What's your opinion on .NET versus JS? They're both great. Why not? I mean, I don't know. If you want to play with C#, you do .NET. You want to play with JavaScript, you do JavaScript. Did you have a chance to check out the new free code camp? I did. I really like it. I have some plans this weekend, but I don't know. I don't know if I'll get to it this weekend. I got quite a few things to do. I'd like to. It's on the agenda. I'm going to knock out all the new free code camp probably in the next 3 months. C# is web dev with .NET. It's backend. My wife and I are doing Dave Ramsey's baby steps. What's baby step are you on? I don't really know. I just read the first baby step of saving $1,000, and I've been watching his YouTube channel. I have no debt. I have money in the bank. I am saving for a house. I currently don't have any money going into retirement. So I'm not the traditional, let's start from the ground up. I'm debt free. I have plenty of money in the bank. I could probably support myself for the next 2 years on my current income and money coming in, or if I got laid off today. So I'm not in that step. So I don't know where that falls me, but I'm only about a third of the way through the book. I know they finished the first dev job without finishing all the challenges. Free code camp. How far did you get? I think I had 2 projects left: the Simon game and something else. That's basically it. I'm 27. Don't know what you're talking about. Oh, for the win means fuck the world. Oh, okay. For the win was something that people used to say back when people have played StarCraft and stuff like that, or they were joking. Anyhow, man. Damn, man, I just dated myself, didn't I? How in depth should your tech interviews answers be? As in depth as you can confidently answer them. If they ask you what the difference between VAR, I'll give you a basic example. I get this question all the time when I talk to recruiters or companies trying to poach me. They ask this question every time. They want to know if you know JavaScript. What's the difference between var, let, and const? I'll give you my exact answer. Well, var is back when we did things the bad way with lexical scope, and part of the lexical scope involves variable hoisting, which causes a lot of issues down the road because your code does not the way your code looks does not represent the way that it is compiled, and causes different function-based scoping. Constant let involves block scoping and should be only used moving forward. It came out in ES6 or 2015, and it defines a much shorter scope. The additional thing about const is it doesn't allow you to reassign values. So in primitive types, you can't modify it at all. And when you're talking about more advanced types such as objects or arrays, you can instantiate them as an object or array, and then you can modify them with methods, but you can't directly overwrite the value. So that would be an example of how I would answer completely the that basic question. So in that answer, that's how you should answer completely a tech answer. You've covered all the steps for that question. You didn't leave anything out. Have a great day, Mark. I was just giving you a hard time about for the win, man. I hope you didn't take it personally, man. I mean, here's the thing. What's going to happen if you give too much correct information? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You answer something completely in a minute, maybe less, and it worked, and you answered all that. But if you answer a short, quick answer that has that has left items out, you're going to show your lack of knowledge. So answer it completely. Treehouse or YouTube, which is good for learning the coding. YouTube, by most people's standards, according to the blog I read. For the win, I learned back on it. Yeah, back when the kids were playing EverQuest, people were saying for the win. For the win. Oh, man. Back when I had braces the first time, people were saying for the win. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh man, I gotta show you. Let me show you guys. I gotta find this. A friend sent me this the other day. I'm gonna find this on Facebook real quick. There's this meme a friend sent me, and I can't share it on. It's a little bit over the top, but let me see if I can. My friend shared it with me from work. It's the most savage thing I've seen all year. All right, I'll just show it to you real quick. My coworker at work sent this to me. No, it doesn't affect my baby at all. 12 years later, PHP. Oh, it's too good. It's too good. That's somebody who understands me. You know what I mean? we're on the same. We're on the same wavelength. Oh shit. Let's see. Don't let babies grow. Sure, why not? Should I go to the Malwarebytes opening office party? I got an invite from Malwarebytes, which apparently is in Tampa. So, no, it's nearby. I might go. Why not? All right, I'll register. I'll come, dude. You got me. I want to bring 2 people. No, go back. I want to bring April. All right. One second. I'm registering for this stuff. I'll go. Why not? Let's go network. Let's go network, son. We networking. All right. The Please Stop Making Excuses video was very inspiring. I've been working in Treehouse for my 2nd week and it's going good. Thanks. You're welcome, man. Just make sure to keep it fun. Oh, man. I tell you, man, when I woke up, I don't know about you guys, but like I get my phone in the morning, I check my emails real quick, I check like some comments and anything else that's on the phone, and then I saw that was the first thing I woke up to. It put a smile on my face all day. Do I do any mentoring? Yes, I do. Part of the reasons I do these live streams is to provide a little bit of mentoring as well as just have some fun, right? I do one-on-one mentoring. I charge $90 an hour, which is 2.5 times my hourly rate roughly, which is how I get to there. So if you want some one-on-one time, we're like, hey, I'm making some big moves in my career. I just want to know your opinion. Just want somebody to talk to, bounce ideas off of. I do that. So. If you use a nav tag, do you have to use the LI tag inside of it or list the link or just the A tag, if that makes sense? So the LI tag goes to the UL or OL tag. It doesn't go to the nav tag. Yeah, that's a list item. And so that needs either an ordered list or an unordered list to attach it. What's the method of payment for hourly mentoring? Just PayPal. You just PayPal me. And then from there we go and we just set up a time that works for both of us. Do you know a lot about SQL databases? That's where I need some help at work. No. Most of the mentoring I don't really do tutoring anymore unless it's JavaScript based. If you want some JavaScript, Angular, TypeScript tutorial, and you just want someone to walk through some part or explain, in an hour what's important, I can do that. But I don't do debugging, and I definitely wouldn't charge you for SQL because I haven't touched SQL in quite some time. I can definitely do JavaScript stuff. But when you're paying $90 an hour, you gotta get a $90 an hour product. If I were to do SQL and charge you to get my $90, we need to be here 9 hours. I'm not trying to steal your money and just waste it. I'm trying to provide value, right? Oh man, what's on fire? Me, baby. No. A green wallet, savage. Yeah, no problem, man. Don't worry. There's plenty of other people out there that'll take your money and promise you that their $500 course, they guarantee with no guarantee that you'll, get your next dev job in just 2 months for if you just buy their course right now, today only for $500. It's a steal. How long did it take you to get a job as a web dev? This is debatable. But from the moment I dropped out of college, I started a job as a technology trainer, which was really a cross between a business analyst and a technical writer. And I studied for about 8 months. I started applying and I got a job. So about 9 months. But you take that into consideration that I was studying before I started that. And I was knocking courses out and whatnot. And I was a CS student at some point as well for your boy made the old I'm done with this decision. Yeah. That's one thing that's very interesting. Back before I had a dev job, I would have been very embarrassed to talk about how I was a college dropout. Now I have no problem. I'm not to say that I'm proud of being a college dropout because I think that'd be a little strange. But I definitely am more so of the mindset that I'm open to talking about it because it has helped to define who I am. Did you have a personal portfolio to show for your first job? I had my website, codingtutorials360.com, and that was basically it. I had some GitHub stuff. I had I had a bunch of videos up on what's the word I'm looking for? YouTube. This place, yeah, YouTube. How are you supposed to survive when you are studying coding but can't get a coding job? You have a job. When I was learning to code, those 9 months I told you about, I was working full time. You can do it. I mean, I put about an hour in the morning, and then after work, I put about 3 to 4. On the weekends, I put 8 to 12 a day. Yeah, I was grinding it out. Did a hackathon, went to some meetups, joined some Facebook groups. I've been working on my channel about 3 years. I have 800 videos. I've been working every day to get better. And I've had a job for almost 2 years now as a dev. So keep that in mind, right? The secret to success when you're working full time is just to weed out stuff that doesn't align with your goals. Consistency is key. That means that if you play basketball, you don't play basketball anymore. There's no time for basketball. That means if your boys go out for drinks on Fridays and you want to go out with your boys, you don't do that. You ain't got no boys. Unless those boys are over pair programming, they don't exist. It means your girlfriend wants you to come over. You say, hey, girl, you come over. But Dolan can't go out. He's got to whiteboard this algorithm out. But we can hang out while we code. The right woman will appreciate that. The right woman will say, look, man, this guy's trying to get his shit together, and I'm going to be here to take half in 5 years. No, I'm just totally kidding. That's totally joking. But no, the right person will understand that you're trying to grind it out. So, and to be honest, I never wanted somebody in my life who can't respect that I'm in the grind, who can't respect that, you know what, I may be sleeping on a couch today, but I'll get out of it, and I'll be, I'll have people sleep on my couch one day. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna change the game. You gonna sleep on my couch, not like maybe you specifically, but that you're working hard to get out of it. That's really. When you say consistency or consistently, do you mean watching coding inspired videos like yours count as being consistent or the actual coding? As long as so in theory, if you enjoy watching coding videos, you probably enjoy coding and you're going to code. Now, some days you may be coding. In fact, no matter when you are learning to code, you should be coding every day. But that doesn't mean of your 3 to 4 hours a day that I recommend when you're trying to learn to code, regardless if you have kids, family, whatever, jobs. You still got to find that 3 to 4 hours. But you still, some of that 3 to 4 hours can be going to meetups, can be, watching videos, can be listening to conferences, coming here and saying, look, we're talking, and I try to keep it fun and fresh, right? And I joke a lot. And, but we're talking about real things. We're talking about, how you need to grind and understand what it takes to be a dev, what it takes to go to the next level, not to just say, hey, baby, we made it. We got that first 50K dev job, right? You want to make 50K? You want to make 150K, right? And what that entails. And again, it's not all about money, but money does provide a certain amount of security, of life. It's about making good decisions. What are the specifics in JavaScript? I need to learn you need to learn the entire language. You need to learn control flow. You need to understand array methods. You need to understand data types. You need to understand modern JavaScript. For the love of God, I want you all 46 of you to understand that. I want all 46 of you to understand this, that if you were to hand an application, say we sent you a take-home project and you didn't write it in ES6, listen to me today. ES6 came out 3.5 years ago. If I see that one of you guys is using VAR, you're out. You're out of consideration. You no longer are getting this job. I don't care how much I liked you, how much we were like, yo, boy, hey, you fist pump me. You're like, yo, Dolan, baby, I love the channel. Hey, you're doing good. But I see a VAR. If I see a VAR in your take-home project, you're all right, there we go. You're cut just like this microphone. All right. But here's because what it shows is that you're not staying up on your craft. You're not going and maturing, and you're not learning. You're not. So keep that in mind. Because the most important thing, especially when hiring someone junior, no, I understand not having the latest, but when you're applying, you have a take-home app. I don't care if you work in, ES4, ES3, but when you're applying to a new workplace, you need to apply the latest standards. What if the app was written 7 to 8 years ago and we have to maintain the same structure and style it's written in? I'm not talking, look, guys, I'm not talking about you working an app that you can't have that, and by the way, TypeScript, Webpack, all these things compile it down. I'm talking about when a company gives you a take-home project, because there's two different types of assessments, and sometimes you do both. There is a, hey, we want you to solve an algorithm. And then there's also, hey, we're going to give you a take-home project. Can you please solve it, right? Just to see if you code and you're really actually interested. So when you get that take-home project, and usually take-home project, hey, we'll give you a couple days. They don't usually come with a timeline most of the time. Usually want to get them pretty quick so you can get, beat out the other guys who are applying. But you need to understand in JavaScript, ES6 was a massive upgrade. You need to be like, man, you got to just stay up with the latest. It's that easy. I'm not playing with anyone who doesn't stay up with the latest. And that's not to say that I'm a stickler about VAR. I'm just saying that if you apply, you have a take-home project, what you turn in is supposed to be representative of your quality of work. If your quality of work means that you haven't learned anything for at least 3.5 years, 3.5 years, that's your quality of work. I don't want to work with you. I'm not saying you have to know everything, be everything, but the bare minimum thing that 3.5 years, 3.5 years. I'm not talking about a year. Look, man. So, and by the way, the people who are like, look, I'm trying to make excuses in chat, your excuses right now is part of the problem. What if you do this? What if you do that? What if you just study outside of work and learn the latest stuff so that you don't get passed on for a job that's going to pay 3 to 4 times what you make, or 30% more, 40% more? Because you know who does take VAR? You know who takes VAR? The web design shop that's going to pay you, half of what a corporation is going to pay you, half of what a larger company, a startup that has venture capital funding. You know why? Because they want people who are passionate. They want people who are learning at least what happened 3.5 years ago. What they don't want is someone to show up, say, I know JavaScript. All right, cool. What's the difference between const, let, and var? I don't know. You don't know shit then, because that happened 3.5 years ago. So you're at level 0 in my book. And there's no excuse, man. There's no excuse. There's tutorials on subjects for free on YouTube. There's 20, 30 devs like myself who put out tutorials. That doesn't mean it's going to be the best. It doesn't mean that it's going to cover everything, but it does mean that if you watch 5 of them, you will understand it all, because they will all show that you're learning, you're grinding. We each are going to think different things are important and going to represent the stuff, sometimes misrepresent, right? Because we're not perfect. So is it important to know C++ since the V8 engine is built with it? I have no idea. That's what you think, what you're trying to do. Yeah. But that's the thing, man. You understand. Here's the understanding. The reason it is such a big thing to say, like, look, you have to. We're in 2018. We're halfway through 2018. We're talking about some shit for 2015. To be a good developer, and I don't want to hire good developers. I want to hire great developers. You need to understand that this is a lifelong journey of learning. That doesn't mean it has to be your whole life. This is my whole life, granted. And I've said that till 2020, I'm working every day. That was always my plan. Be a workaholic for 5 years. So, but it has to be part of your life. You have to understand that. And you have to make it your objective, especially when you're getting started. And as you are a growing developer, that you are still learning. That means sometimes it means at work you have to do it. It's okay to start applying if you don't even know a front-end framework. You're going to have some hard time. You should probably spend some time and pick up Angular or React. Only a year and a half left till 2020. guess so, right? Year and a half. I was thinking more like 2.5. The end of 2020 was kind of what I was thinking. Do I want to retire in Thailand? No, not particularly. Why would I want to retire someplace I've never been? I mean, maybe I'll go to Thailand, but like, yo, man, this is the place for me. You're dropping out of school soon? I hope you have a game plan, man. Make sure you have a game plan. Hey, Dylan, I might do a vacation to Florida next February. February is far as fuck, dude. Yeah, but yeah, man, if I'm still here in February, feel free to shoot your boy a message, and maybe I'll do a meetup of some sort and see if any other of you guys want to show up, and we'll well, I thought you were gonna say like in a month from now. February. Talk about 8 months from now. I'm making plans with you 8 months from now. But yeah, man, hit me up in February, and we'll see what's up, man. Best websites to look at jobs. I recommend LinkedIn. Really, that's it, man. I have no problem with LinkedIn. Show up as Dolan. Oh my god. Are you currently diving in any new languages or frameworks? So I'm working real hard to get this algorithm course done. It's 150 algorithms that I've been working on. So that's the first primary objective. I was diving a little bit into Blazor recently at work. That was kind of interesting. But I'm also going to be diving into Vue very soon. That's the next framework I want to play around with. Although I've been thinking about picking up C#. I don't know. I don't know, man. It all depends. But yeah, I'm going to be pick. So right now I'm also doing tutorials every week when I how useful is a personal website when I have a job and not a web developer? It's great for every aspect, regardless of the industry or business. Why don't I turn my green screen on? What am I going to do with it? I need to know how to make the most money course. I've been thinking about making a YouTube course when I hit 100K. Is the algorithm course going to be on YouTube? No, it's going to be on Udemy. It's going to be $10. Got to pay. Cash money, baby. It took way too long to release it on YouTube. It took like 6 months to do the algorithms. Granted, I do them studying and put on the GitHub and prepare for technical interviews, all that crap. And then it's taken like 2 months to film the 150. I'm getting my $300. So I don't make that much from courses. Oh man. It's been a long week already, man. How you guys doing? I want to appreciate all 48 of you for showing up today. I don't know if you guys know this, but I think I do these live streams more for me than for you. I really do like the live streams, then. They're so much fun. Do you do Skype sessions or anything? It would be dope if we did it like live, but we're all on it face to face. I don't need to look at you guys. I'll be honest, man. The chat is fine. There's 48 of you in here. One of you's down to do something fucking creepy and strange. I mean, I don't need that in my life. That's all. It just takes one. It would happen. This is not. I remember going on chat roulette. You know what I'm saying? That we all know how chat roulette turned out. That's exactly how. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. We're all family, and I appreciate the support. But yeah. There'd be some inappropriateness on the very first. Hey, let's just get 50 people on the internet I've never met before. You know what? I'm good. I don't need that in my life. Trust me. I know how this story ends, is what I'm saying. And it ends with, some dick pics that I just don't need. I don't want. Do you consider yourself a nerd? I would say yes. I don't know how much nerdier I could be. I have a StarCraft shirt on. I have braces. I used to have glasses till I got my eyes lasered. I work as a software developer. I watch anime on the weekend. I also run a coding channel. You quite literally would have a harder time finding someone who is less of a stereotype for being nerd than me. I think. Do I like Lord of the Rings? Lord of the Rings is, it's all right, man. It was doing pretty solid back in the day. No, I don't have a waifu, Phil. I'm a healthy, well-adjusted nerd. I'll put it that way. Like last weekend, I was thinking about modding out my Super Nintendo Classic. I usually am quiet in here, but I appreciate the live chats. Good chance for a noob like me to just hang out with a master level program. Hey man, we got lower your we got up your standards on master level. Hey Dylan, I support you 100%. Hey man, I appreciate that. I think that's financial support. 100% financial support is what you meant to say. No, but I have a question. Which Visual Studio Code extensions do you typically use at work and home? So I use a Visual Studio extension called Bracket Pair Colorizer. I absolutely love it. It colorizes your brackets so you can see the scope of it. I highly recommend it. And I also use I use that in my work and home, but I also use on my personal computer in the text editor a live server. So if I'm making edits to a page, I can launch live server and it will refresh the page whenever I save and update. Yeah. I'm in a weird position. I have a few more weeks to study for my master's degree, which I hate studying for, and I can't focus all because I want to learn Angular and JS. Finish your master's degree. All right. If you're a few weeks away, finish it. How much does braces cost? $1,700. Almost done. No pocket protector. I think what you do is pretty cool. It takes a lot of courage and hard work. Hey, man, it takes hard work, and it's not easy throwing yourself out here. I often get asked by recruiters, how do you deal with the hate? I say I cry. No, I don't say I cry. Are those Invisalign? Do they look invisible? I got Anna bottom. It's just my second time having them, so I didn't need them as long. And suddenly, when you offer pay cash, things get cheaper. No. Yeah. Coding guide recognizes coding guide, right? I've ever suffered from imposter syndrome, yes. At my previous workplace. And a little bit when I came to my most current job, just because it's like I was working in new stuff and I got overwhelmed. How did I overcome it? A couple different ways. One, before I got my first dev job, I would see people show up who couldn't reverse a string on a whiteboard. And then I was like, yo, I'm ready to start applying for some jobs. This is who I'm going against. So there's that. And two, Before I took my current job, I had 3 offers on the table. That really helped a lot. That was like, oh, 3 people are going to hire me, I guess, at the same time. I guess I must be doing something right, and that sort of helped. What anime? I'm currently watching My Hero Academia. I absolutely love it. I watch it every Saturday morning. You building any projects in jQuery? Not since 2015. Yeah, don't spend too much time on jQuery, man. Is it common to get imposter syndrome at a new job? I think it would be, just because you have to learn how the company works. I would say it's pretty common at any job, and it can last at any point in your career. So, it's somewhat I would argue also that if imposter syndrome was, if you use imposter syndrome to your advantage to work hard, it's a good thing. I know when I start a new job, I'm putting in like 40 extra hours a week to get up and running with the technologies and the stacks, because that little bit of, I hope they don't know that I'm fooling them, it kicks in. Like, shit, man, they're paying me a lot of money. I don't know if they know if I don't know if I'm worth it. We better make sure. Yeah. Do you think having a tech interview on whiteboard is silly? Yeah. But so here's the thing: if you go in for a whiteboard problem, they're usually pretty easy. Like an actual whiteboard problem is like, hey, map this object. Hey, do FizzBuzz. Hey, reverse a string. If you show up and you can't iterate a for loop, and you can't reverse a string, you on a whiteboard, you're done. That's really it, man. So I mean, we're not talking about complicated algorithms. This is different by company and by culture and stuff. Usually, the harder algorithms will be the ones that you are working on. On like a text editor over a video challenge or something like that. That's it. So. I have a better solution. We've talked about this a couple times over lunch. Devs talk about how whenever you get like someone come in and they don't do very well, and you're like, God damn, man, we really thought this guy was going to pass. And then we're talking about like, how could we, if we had control of technical interviews, how might we do them? So the way that I would solve this is 2 things. One, I'm okay letting someone do a take home project. I really used to think that was the way of going, but my coworker convinced me that a lot of times people just cheat anyhow. 2, I would have them solve 3 algorithms, 3, one easy, one medium, one hard, and I'd have them send in. They all pass. I'd then bring them into the office. I would have them solve the same 3 algorithms on the whiteboard, the same exact 3 that they handed in 2-3 days prior. Now, the reason I would do this is because at this point, if it should be fresh, you should understand it. You should be able to solve it with relative ease, especially when you're writing, sloppy pseudocode on the whiteboard. If you can't, you didn't learn shit, and you basically searched the problem out on Stack Overflow. So that's how I would handle technical interviews if it was up to me. There's a lot going on in that, and maybe 3 might be too many problems. Maybe just do 1 medium problem, but that would be what I would do, because I think that would solve a lot of the issues. Do it without pre-built functions. All you would do is reverse. You just create a string, and then you'd have an inverted for loop, and then you would just take those values and paste them in there. That's all. How correlated is the ability to solve algorithms to skill as a developer? It showcases that you can problem solve, which is important, and that you understand your language, you understand control flow, you understand the basics, and how to problem solve. So it's very critical in that. And depending on the technology and what direction you're going, it could be super impactful. It doesn't mean it's always going to be. Most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, you're building like CRUD tools, but you need to have those skills for when it is. Let's see here. What's something you wish you knew before you first started to code that you know now? I wish I read some more soft skill based books, and I fully understood how important side projects were. I happened to sort of luck into like YouTube and side projects because I thought a video tutorial was really cool. You know, Engineer True is my best friend, and he had a YouTube channel. He's making like $600 at the time. I was like, that's dope. I want to make $600. And when you're in, you know, broke, starving, and hungry college student, $600, like, yo, man, you buying a house with that? You know, like you have an unrealistic understanding of what $600 gets you, but it's impressive nonetheless. Yeah. So I would say that I wish I fully understood, and this, even though, because it's not fair to put people on the same, like most of you guys aren't going to luck into just randomly starting a side project, but it really is an excellent resource, and it's kept me learning and kept me grinding. And when I take those L's, it's kept me motivated. Is a portfolio relevant? Yes. I'll have a video coming out this coming week where you'll see that portfolios are one of the most relevant things that will get you the job and is relevant for people to even have that interview with you. So, you know, it's you know, all that stuff's important, guys. All right, guys, I ran out of water, and we've been doing this about an hour. I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank you guys for being subscribers and helping me chase the stream dream, if you will, the YouTube, and continue growing and learning. And I want to thank you for sharing the videos as they come out. If you want to help the channel out, you always can with fan funding and items that way. If you want to donate money, that's a great way. It's helping me buy a house. If you want to help the channel grow so that most people can see the channel, and you can do that by sharing the videos. When you share the videos, that's the fastest way for the channel to grow, and we can keep people motivated and keep people learning. And of course, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff, man. I appreciate you all. I know it's not easy to get to that next level of coding, and anyone who tells you it's easy, that should be your first sign that, you know what, this is probably someone who I don't want to be my mentor. All this stuff is hard work. All of this is, you know, there's going to be times where you might cry. I never thought learning to code would bring me to tears, but I can tell you it did on more than one occasion. Part of it was wanting it so bad, and part of it was taking the L's and when you wanted it so bad and it not getting there right when you wanted. So keep that in mind when you're getting those L's, is that it's, you know, it's hard, man. It's all hard. And if you're getting anyone who tells you differently, you probably don't want to be listening to them. You can do it though. You can do it. It's hard though. You gotta work at it. So with that being said, guys, I wish you the best. I will see you next time.